Okay, before ngiphazamiseke, bengisakhuluma ngokuthi if ususebenzisa your second or your third or your fourth, because bangakunikeza nje amafevili amaningi nje impela, but sukela nje ku-2 kuya le phezulu, you should consider calculating the actual carrying amount, the historical carrying amount. Uwathathe nje uwabeke la. So as I was saying ukuthi there's a possibility yokuthi uthole i-revaluation surplus again if uthole i-revaluation surplus unyakeni odlule, or uthole i-revaluation expense, or uthole i-revaluation surplus reversal, uthole i-revaluation income. Nase ngithi mina, you should be careful. I-revaluation surplus reversal is debited, i-revaluation income is credited. If uthole i-revaluation surplus reversal, inkathi uthi uzama ukubala by comparing your actual carrying amount and your historical carrying amount. Remember, the revaluation surplus reversal will happen if your actual carrying amount is greater than your HCA. So uma kuwukuthi uyabala uthole revaluation surplus reversal, uzobe correct uma uthi uphinde uyabala futhi uthole i-revaluation expense, because lezi zinto zowu-2 zingani zi-debited and azihlukani, hlezi zizohamba ndawonye. If uthi uyabala uthole i-revaluation surplus, you're comparing your actual carrying amount, your historical carrying amount together with your fair value. Uthole i-revaluation expense. I-revaluation expense uyazi ukuthi uyithola if the actual carrying amount yakho noma historical carrying amount yakho inkulu ne-fair value. Okay, yakwazi lokho. So if uthi uthole i-revaluation expense, make sure ukuthi uphinde uthola into ezohambiselana ne-revaluation expense okuyini, but that revaluation expense is debited, or revaluation surplus reversal kumele kuhambisane loku-2. If uthi uyabala uthole revaluation surplus, since revaluation surplus is credited, make sure ukuthi wenzenjani, uthola i-revaluation income. Engizama ukuchaza ukuthi at the end of the day kumele izinto oyitholayo eziwu-2 zihambisane. Awukwazi ukuthola i-revaluation surplus phinde uthole revaluation surplus reversal ngesikhathi esisodwa, kuyashayisana, okunye ku-credited okunye ku-debited, kumele uthole izinto ezizohambisana. I-revaluation surplus reversal will happen if your actual carrying amount is greater than your historical carrying amount. Revaluation income, HCA is greater than your ACA. So i-revaluation income ngithena angeke awukwazi ukuba nayo ungakazi ube nayo i-revaluation expense. So uma kuwukuthi last year besingenayo i-revaluation expense, ngonyaka olandela awukwazi ukuba ne-revaluation income, uzobe usuvole. Ku-20x3 manje. Ngo-20x3 sinikezwe i-fair value. I-fair value malini ngo-20x3? Our fair value in 2003 it's 40,000. So sengithi mina-ke ngo-20x3 ngaphambi kokuthi urevaluate ucheck ukuthi sine surplus noma sine expense noma sine surplus reversal noma sine income, asiqale ngokusetha off. So you start by setting off your accumulated depreciation against the assets of which is this plant. Narration yakhe iyasho set off accumulated depreciation before the revaluation. Our previous depreciation is 24,000. I hope wonke umuntu uyabona lento engizama ukuyenza la. 24,000 isembele ngishilo kodwa. Then once ususet offile i-accumulated depreciation, don't forget your narration. Suzobe sekuyima wenzela manje so revaluate assets lakho. Sidinga i-historical carrying amount, sidinga i-actual carrying amount, sidinga nani enye ne-fair value. So sengizobuza ama-students ami Malini historical carrying amount date from 2008. Noma siqale nge-fair value. Our fair value esinikezwe yona is 40,000. Deliver to fair value is 40,000. So now for the actual carrying amount, for the historical carrying amount. Malini historical carrying amount is for 2003. Okay, masufike la vele wenza ithebula lakho kanje. Kusho ukuthi ngala ama-HCAs ami, ngala ama-ACAs ami. So remember ukuthi ngithe HCA ama-carrying amount where we take only into account depreciation kuphela. Angithi our cost price is 80,000 and minus the depreciation is 16,000. So lebala u-64 wangithi. Siphinde futhi 64 minus 16. Cela ningibaleleke la ukuthi kuphuma malini please. Hayi kabi ngiyacela.
48.
48,000 minus 16,000 again. Hola ba.
32.
Mele izifike ku-0 sithole 16,000. 16,000 minus 16,000 seku-0 futhi aselisebenzayo seli-fully depreciated. Got here. So iwona ama-historical carrying amount ami lawo. Nansi eyokuqala u-64,000. Yokuqala le. Yesibili lena 48,000. Yesithathu le. Imalini historical carrying amount ngo-20x3.
48. Huh?
Okay, into yokuqala esifunayo before si-evaluate ufuna ukuthola i-historical carrying amount ngo-20x3 ukuthi iyimalini. Ngo-20x1 historical carrying amount yethu 64,000 according to this table. Ngo-20x2 historical carrying amount is 48,000. Ngo-20x3 historical carrying amount is 32,000. Ngo-20x4 historical carrying amount is 16,000. Ngo-20x5 u-0 nobani i-asset iseli-fully depreciated. So angeke ngize ngitshele ukuthi indaba kodwa indlela abenza ngayo la when it comes to ama-historical carrying amounts baqala from the date esaqala ngayo uku-revaluate. Siqale nini uku-revaluate assets? Siqale ngamuphi unyaka? Imuphi unyaka esaqala ngayo uku-revaluate assets?
20x2.
Ngo-20x2. Angazi guys, angifuni ukuqamba amanga, angazi indaba. But bona bathi ena lo 64,000 i-carrying amount yango-20x yango-2002 bethi le yango-2003 bese bethi le yango-20x4. I don't know the reason. Angifuni ukuqamba amanga ngiyazi ukuthi why. But indlela abenza ngayo mase beqala noma befuna i-historical carrying amount. Once usuwabhalile kanje, you go back lapha ekuqaleni wenze sure ukuthi unyaka oqala ngawo noma the first historical carrying amount, historical carrying amount yonyaka esaqala uku-revaluate ngayo assets. Futhi ngo-20x2 saqala uku-revaluate i-plant yethu. Therefore, the historical carrying amount yokuqala, historical carrying amount yonyaka esaqala ngawo uku-evaluate i-assets. Angazi ukuthi why benza kanje. Ngo-20x3, yabo, so 20x3, 20x4, 5. Uqala from the year enaqala ngayo lo point uku-evaluate i-assets. So ngo-20x2, i-historical carrying amount yethu you-64,000, ngo-20x3 you-48,000, ngo-20x4 you-32,000, ngo-2005 16,000. Yizo lento engizama ukuchaza guys. Omunye uzothi why leya 64,000 kungawona ngo-20x1. Ngiyasho again, ngithi angazi ukuthi why benza kanje, but bona bathi i-historical carrying amount yokuqala akube i-historical carrying amount yokuqala ngonyaka esaqala ngawo uku-evaluate i-assets oku-2002. I don't know why benza kanje. Sizwana guys. So malini i-historical carrying amount yethu? Ngo-20x3
48,000.
8,000. Then sekumele sithole i-actual carrying amount. Malini i-actual carrying amount yethu ngo-20x3 ozongitshela yona nginento enhle ngizomnikeza yona. How much is our actual carrying amount ngo-20x3? Ngivezela ama-answer khona nizongibhalela. How much? How guys? Zaman phela.
72,000.
Malini? Ngipindela. Hawuphinda Nkosiyami ngiyacela. Our actual carrying amount ngo-20x3 u-72,000. Khona ungangitshela ukuthi uphume kanjani. Guys, anifuni ukuzama. Cha, azinabhora.
Fair value, let's say depreciation.
Yes.
So our actual carrying amount ngo-20x3 will be fair value minus the depreciation yabani 24,000. So our actual carrying amount is 72,000. So once usukunakho koku-3 kanjena guys, sekuyimasi kumele-ke manje comparishe lokhu nalokhu 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 nalokhu. So you compare your actual carrying amount, your historical carrying amount and fair value, your historical carrying amount and your actual carrying amount, and your actual carrying amount and fair value. Guys. La masunezinto eziwu-3 kanje. It's either udebita i-revaluation expense ne-revaluation surplus reversal. Oku-2 kumele kube ka-debit. Then ka-credit uzocredita i-assets. It's either you have i-revaluation expense ne-revaluation surplus reversal on the debit side ngoku-2 bese ucredita in i-plant. Noma une-revaluation surplus ne-revaluation income on the credit side. Ngithi ngingena ka-credit khona. So if ukuthi nalokho ku-2 kuzoba ka-credit, then you have to debit i-assets u-plant. So u-plant, it's either uka-debit noma uka-credit. Uzoba ka-debit uma kuwukuthi ubune-revaluation surplus ne-revaluation income okuka-credit. Because at the end of the day kumele okuka-credit kulingane nokephi nokwaka-debit. But if une-revaluation expense ne-revaluation surplus reversal angithi kuka-debit side ngoku-2 futhi u-plant uzomcredita. You should always make sure ukuthi u-plant umcredita nge-difference between the actual carrying amount ne-fair value yakho at all times. U-plant, whether you credit or debit, u-plant ucredite nge-difference between the actual carrying amount nani efavor ngaso sonke isikhathi. Senze nini journal entry ela. Okay, sesinayo already i-HCA nani no-ACA wethu ne-fair value. Sekumele ubuyele kuma-formula zakho. Siba nani uma u-ACA emkhulu kuno-HCA. In this case, our HCA is greater than HCA, so we compare u-ACA no-HCA and sithola ukuthi i-actual carrying amount inkulu kunani kune-historical carrying amount. Yini esiba nayo uma kukanjalo?
Surplus.
It's not a surplus, but yini? A surplus reversal. So in this case, lapha u-ACA wethu mkhulu kuno-HCA, should sinani the revaluation surplus reversal, and the revaluation surplus is on the debit side. ACA is greater than HCA. In this case, ACA wethu 72,000. U-ACA u-48,000. U-ACA mkhulu kuno-HCA, should sinani the revaluation surplus reversal, which is debited. Imalini revaluation surplus reversal is the difference between u-ACA and HCA. How much? $24,000. Yabona guys? I'm saying in the esiyenzayo, we compare the historical carrying amount and the actual carrying amount. Is steps of kala. So the actual carrying amount in kuno HCA. HCA yamkhulu kuno HCA sibanani sebane revaluation surplus reversal. And our revaluation surplus reversal will be a difference between u-ACA no HCA of 24,000. Njengoba sesine revaluation surplus reversal, yini enye isilindele ukuhambisana ne-revaluation surplus reversal? Sekumele ihambisane nani i-revaluation surplus reversal?
What revaluation expense?
I-revaluation surplus reversal kumele ihambisane nani ne-revaluation expense. Sinayo i-revaluation expense here. By comparing those three amounts, yayibona i-revaluation expense. Remember guys, the revaluation expense would happen if the carrying amount including the fair value. In this case, we have, so it's either it's a historical carrying amount or it's an actual carrying amount. So now we have a historical carrying amount of 48,000 and our fair value is 40,000. So we have a revaluation expense at 8,000. Yabona guys. Remember, I said the first step, you compare u-HCA no ACA. The second step, you compare u-HCA no fair value. Then ila ozokucompare u-ACA wakho no fair value, and tell you difference leyo kumele kube i-difference ka-plant. Uma bawukade unezinto eziwu-2 ezika-debit, i-plant izoba ka-credit. If bawukade unezinto eziwu-2 ezika-credit, u-plant izoba ka-debit. But at the end of the day, imali okumele sifake ku-plant, i-difference between u-ACA no fair value. Imalini i-revaluation expense yethu? So now, because we've debited revaluation surplus reversal and revaluation expense, we have to credit to plant. Remember, Njalo guys, revaluation surplus reversal. It's revaluation expense to indicate which expense the plant is an asset. In narration, is in revaluation of plant. So how much is so credit ngayo plant? The difference between your ACA and your fair value, how much?
It's 32,000.
32,000. At the end of the day, your credit side should be equal to your debit side. Khona onombuzo. In 2003, we started by setting off accumulated depreciation before revaluation. Just revaluating again. Remember, also revaluate assets. You should start by determining your ACA, and your fair value. Then also go 3. You will start by comparing your ACA and your ACA. You follow by comparing the HCA, your fair value. Then you compare your actual carrying amount with your fair value. And remember, ukuthi difference ACA no fair value kumele kube ukuthi iyaplant any assets odila ngalo ngaleso sikhathi. If bekuno revaluation surplus reversal, kumele ahambisane no revaluation expense ngokuthi kuka debit futhi uzocredit uplant. If bewune surplus, bekumele kuhambisane nani i-revaluation income bekuzoba ka-credit. So uplant uzomdebita if that was the case. Nakhona futhi uzomdebita nge-difference between the actual carrying amount nani ne-fair value yakhona. So I'm saying in narration yalana ngizothini revaluation of plant. We have done a second step, la evaluate for the assets. So step esilandelayo, remember ukuthi njani we transfer i-revaluation surplus uma kuwukuthi le-study sinjani. Since la singabanga ne-revaluation surplus but sibe ne-revaluation surplus reversal, should as transfer yilutho. I-revaluation expense is not transferred. Futhi ayikho i-revaluation surplus esizoyi-transfer nini ngo-2003. Kusele i-step sokugcina. We have to determine a depreciation end. How much? Malini depreciation yethu at the end of 2003. That depreciation, use our fair value, divide by remaining years. How many years are remaining? 3 years.
3 years.
The depreciation yethu izoba malini? 13,333. Understand your point? 13,333. I hope you guys are there. So now your narration, it will be a depreciation for the year. Uyabona guys ukuthi idinga inzalano.
Yes.
Okay. So kusele unyaka wokugcina ngithi, which is 2004. Date of 2004. It's 40,000, but before the revaluate assets, we should start by
Set off with depreciation.
by very much. So we debit accumulated depreciation in credit plant. Mali depreciation year last year 13,333. So and the second credit again. Then in narration yakho yachaza i-set off for revaluation. Okay. Then bese uyarevaluate ke. Uma usurevaluate sidinga i-HCA, sidinga i-ACA, sidinga i-fair value. I-fair value kwathiwa 40,000 Yes, actual carrying amount. No, we're not giving actual carrying amount. So now, so when you back to your table, remember in 2003, Sitena historical carrying amount you put 8,000. In 2004, historical carrying amount you put 32,000. Your HCA in 2004, 32,000. Your ACA, Malin ACA, Motin X4. Sibale ngendlela ebesibale ngayo ekuqaleni. Sibala kanjani this time?
This is fair value minus
Continue.
taxation.
Sizothi 40,000 for i-fair value last year minus accumulated depreciation, noma depreciation last year 13,333. Sizothola the actual carrying amount is, and our actual carrying amount is 26,000. Uyayithola? Uyayithola, guys?
Yes, yeah, 26,000.
Okay, so nangikhuleka la ngizozwa ngami sengithule. Okay, so now you have your historical carrying amount, your actual carrying amount, and your fair value. Again, guys, you follow the same procedure. You have to compare your HCA and ACA first, then you compare your HCA with your fair value, then you compare your ACA with the fair value. At the end of the day, mandatory is two, either they're on a debit side or they're on a credit side. Basically, we might decide who to plan to get a debit or credit. Again, what do we have here? When HCA is greater than ACA, sibanani. Come on. So now HCA with 32,000, ACA with 26,667. Now HCA somkhulu kunobani kuno ACA should not revaluation income. I-revaluation income asibinayo uma kuwukuthi asikazi sibe ne-revaluation expense. Then you go back, uyabheka ukuthi ena ngike ngaba nayo i-revaluation expense. Nansi i-revaluation expense u-8,000 yabo. Futhi angeke ngizobe ngekho wrong uma ngithi sine-revaluation income ngoba nansi i-revaluation expense yesaba nayo. So i-revaluation income is the first thing uyibonayo. U-revaluation income uka-credit side. U-revaluation income uhamba nophathina wakhe oyi-revaluation surplus. Sinayo yini i-revaluation surplus mawucomparisha lama-carrying amounts wowu-2 ne-fair value. Do we have a revaluation surplus? Okay, so into yokuqala sibe nayo yini i-revaluation income. Saying sine-revaluation income ngobani? Ngoba u-HCA wethu mkhulu kuno-ACA. So when HCA is greater than ACA, sisuke sine-revaluation income. How much is our revaluation income? It's the difference between the two. It's 5,000. 5,333. So I'm saying your revaluation surplus should go, revaluation income should go with the revaluation surplus. So your revaluation income should go with your revaluation surplus. go to the credit. So I'm saying the revaluation surplus equal by comparing the HCA nani fair value. Our HCA is 32,000, if a value is 40,000. If a value is equal nani HCA nayo lapho i-revaluation surplus. Imali revaluation surplus yethu 40,000 minus 32,000 is 8,000. So now I have revaluation income, I have revaluation surplus. For go to good debited should I have to credit it, I have to debit the plant. The plant I will always debit using a difference between HCA and fair value. The difference between the two. So I have guys
13,333.
13,333. Alungibhekela ukuthi mawuthi 5,333 plus 8,000 uyaphuma yini lo 13,333.
Yes, yaphuma.
You are correct. So your narration here, we are supposed to put it's a revaluation of plant. Remember, guys, the steps of Galo center offer, the steps we look evaluate, check what is the none. In this case, we had a revaluation income, the revaluation surplus. Remember what we got the revaluation surplus, say transfer to retained earnings. In this case, yes, the revaluation surplus 8,000 ultimately transferred to retained earnings. In this activity, it is transferred annually. So my transfer annually, we use the remaining useful life. At the end of the year, 31 December 2004, to transfer the revaluation surplus, this transfer to transfer using a remaining useful life is 8,000 divided by how many years the remaining which will X for 2 years. I need total useful life is 5 from 2004 to sell 2 years. Assets outstanding 2001. We retain earnings of transfer of 1,000. Then we credit the retained earnings. Retained earnings. Nakhona sizofaka 1,000. Siyabona guys. In narration yako izothi transfer of revaluation surplus to retained earnings. Siyabona guys.
Yes, yabona.
Okay, then osekucele manje ngo-24 yini depreciation at the end of the year. That's to determine a depreciation end, and that's the last step. So we debit a depreciation, which is an expense, and credit accumulated depreciation. Mali depreciation yethu soyibala kanjani?
40,000 divided by 2.
40,000 divided by 2. We use a fair value here last year. 40,000 divided by 2 years remaining. Then our depreciation is 20,000. Then we credit our accumulated depreciation over 20,000. The narration is depreciation for the year. Sephelile njalo ngo-20x4. Sisetofile, sa-revaluate sathola ukuthi sine-revaluation income ne-revaluation expense. Remember ukuthi sithe sine-revaluation income after we've checked ukuthi sibe nayo i-revaluation expense previously and bese sinayo-revaluation expense ka-8,000. Ungalenzi iphutha lokuthi uthole i-revaluation income singakaze sibe nayo i-revaluation expense. Yenza sure ukuthi noma so-comparisha uqala ngo-HCA no-ACA, ulandele ngo-ACA no-fair value, ugcine ngo-ACA no-fair value. And u-ACA no-fair value difference yakhona kumele ingene kulelo asset odila ngalo. In this case, it was plant, whether it's debited or credited. Ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ungawakhohlwa nama-narrations akho, and we will only transfer i-revaluation surplus onyakeni uma kuwukuthi sike saba nayo. Uma ingakaze ibe khona as-transfer lutho guys. I-revaluation expense is not transferred. And then depreciation after revaluation is calculated using ifair value as your new cost price. Angazi noma ukhona yini onombuzo, kodwa uma ukuthi ukhona onombuzo ngisacela ukuthatha manje. So that was all that is required. Our journal entries. It's just that I will teach it, but I hope ngibhalile phansi because bengiwachaza kahle. Uphelela laphayana-ke guys, 8.10. We've dealt with wonke ama-fair values awu-3. Sukela ngo-20x3, mean 20x2, 20x3, and 20x4. Onombuzo, sicela angibize manje. Ngekho imibuzo, shuthi i-class lethu uphelile. Sihlangana nakusasa. Manje nakusasa sokwenzani? Senze i-accounting futhi. Nisakhona kuqala? Oh, nisakhona maningi ngibheke homework. Khona ongenayo i-grade question ungakawutholi NSFAS.
Bakhona.
Okay. Ngisacela ningenzela u-8 point. Ngifuni le ezongivuka kakhulu, ngifuna ezoba right. Ngicela ningenzele 8.11. Nenze nje u-part A. Nenze part A. Ningayinaki lezi zinto ezithi deferred tax nani. Nikiyeke lokho kancane. Ningenzele nje ama-journal entries. Usebenzise la ama-fair value awu-2, 825,000 no-400,000 kuphela. Cela nishuthe guys. Ninamafoni ashutha kahle, abaphatha ama-iPhone to be specific. Cela nishuthe exercise 8.11. Nusendele lezi ezinye ingane bakithi. Yes guys, i-homework yenu 8.11. Upart A, unumber A kuphela. Angazi soyenza nini. Sasa senza accounting futhi. Cha mina sengikhathele nje accounting. Okay, ngizoyidecidela ukuthi ngenzisani kusasa. But bese cala nenze activity 8.11 as your homework guys. Bye-bye. Nanzwanga? Yes, 8.11 homework in. Bye-bye, Nick. Ngiyanithanda.